Warning, the following podcast contains adult content, adult language, and adult situations. I talk openly about sex and explicit topics. If you are under the age of 18 or are uncomfortable listening to sexually explicit narratives, please listen no further. I am not a professional therapist, counselor, or doctor. I'm just an average guy in the swinger lifestyle who likes to share his experiences. This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Please seek a professional if you are in need of advice, guidance, or care as it relates to sexual health or alternative lifestyles. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Evan Swings, the #1 swinger podcast recorded in this house. It is.
Okay.
Yes, this is a podcast about the swinger lifestyle from the perspective of a guy in the swinger lifestyle. That's me, Evan. I'm your usual host, but today we have back my lovely wife, Eva, as a co-host.
Hello.
Welcome back, Eva.
Thank you for having me
Oh,
back on the podcast.
Well, we are taking advantage of having a kid-free house at the moment, so we decided to record this thing. So, if you're new to this podcast, I always kind of say this. Eva and I have been in the lifestyle for 3 years now, and we just enjoy sharing our experiences for informational and entertainment purposes. And so I also give this little disclaimer. If you're joining me for the first time, I'd love that you're here, but it is highly recommended you stop this episode for now and go back and listen to some of the earlier episodes, which kind of chronicle our journey into the lifestyle from the beginning. But I will also say, as always, that it is not a necessity. No context is needed for this episode, just a suggestion. And of course, if you are a returning listener, welcome back. With Eva here, we thought we'd tackle a lifestyle topic and then tell a short story about an adventure that we had at a hotel takeover. So we'll start off with a topic. And that topic is, what is Eva? What are you?
You say that like
I know.
a pterodactyl or something.
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Dinosaurs on your mind?
I guess so.
Okay. Well, what I really mean is, what is Eva's lifestyle classification or like official sexual orientation? Is she, I guess I should say, are you, because I'm talking with you, are you bisexual, bi-comfortable, bi-curious, or something else? And what exactly do those mean? And the reason I ask this is because Eva and I, we recently had this discussion. We were in the car somewhere, and Eva, and you said to me that I should change your profile description from bisexual to something else. Do you remember that discussion, hopefully?
I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
I feel like it was a while ago.
It was, 'cause I've been waiting to record this.
Sorry.
So we're gonna do a deep dive into this, and hopefully by the end of this segment, we will determine which category best applies to Eva. And I don't think one perfectly fits you.
No. There needs to be a new one.
Well, we'll see. Let's go through what the official ones are. So we'll start off with bi-curious. Okay, and before I go any further, I did do some research on this. I just basic Google research, just tried to find some definitions, and this is what came up. So bi-curious, if you're bi-curious, it means you are sexually attracted to men and women, but only romantically interested in one gender. And this, from what I have read, is also called heteroromantic bisexualism. Kind of a fancy scientific way of putting it. And then there was also another little definition that went with it. It was people who don't know if they are bisexual or not.
So that second definition makes sense to me. The first one does not, in any capacity.
And I got those from 2 different sites. So I'm not sure what the official
I interpret
definition
it
is.
to be the second one.
The second one.
That's what curious means. You want to explore things
Yes.
because you don't know how you feel about it. I want to know more about it.
Okay. So that's bi-curious. Then there's something called bi-comfortable. People, and this is the definition I found, people who are sexually awakened but are not exclusively bisexual or straight. They will not describe themselves as bisexual, but can't say they are exclusively straight either. That's bi-comfortable.
I don't like that definition very much. Okay. I mean, it's okay, but when I think of bi-comfortable, I think of you're comfortable with the same sex in the bed with you, but it's not something that you're seeking out, I guess. I don't know.
No, I would lean towards that as well.
Yeah.
But that's what I found as like official definitions. But I would lean more like that too. If it says comfortable, it means you're not completely bisexual, but you're comfortable doing stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's something called bisituational. And it's defined as someone who identifies themselves as heterosexual but will sexually interact with a member of the same sex when lacking other opportunities.
I don't like that definition either.
Yeah, well, I think the end of that definition kind of ruined it.
Yeah.
Because it's only when you're lacking other opportunities. And I'll be honest with you, that term, bisituational, was the one that I was least clear on. So when I was doing my little research, that was one I was most curious about. And I was surprised to see that it said when lacking other opportunities. Because I've seen that come up on profiles before.
Right.
They've said they're bisituational. So basically that means what they're saying is that if there's no other opportunities around,
right,
I'll do it. So I don't know. And then the last one, of course, is the well-known term bisexual. And that is sexually or romantically attracted to both men and women. Okay, so based on those definitions, and we can kind of discuss it a little bit, but I guess with that last definition, in simplest terms, that's what you are. In the simplest terms, I would say that you are bisexual. You're sexually attracted to both men and women.
Yeah.
But I want to bring up a quote that you said once, and I love this quote, and I've said this to many people before. This is one of Eva's quotes, all right? You don't... What?
One of my quotes.
You said this.
I know, but you're making it sound like we have like a long list of profound things that I have said.
You'd say some pretty cool stuff.
Like I'm going to cross-stitch them on pillows and sell them on Etsy or something.
You have some good quotes.
Well,
you say some very interesting things sometimes. So this is one of them. And it's one that's kind of stuck with me. You once said, I love playing with other women, but at the end of the night, I need a dick in me to be satisfied.
I did say that. in sort of those words, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you've been with a woman separately? Twice. Mm-hmm.
2 different women, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You tried it, and you realized that being with just a woman, no dick in the picture, just not for you. Didn't ultimately satisfy you, correct?
No, I was kind of bored.
Yeah.
Eventually. I mean, I'm going to get bored with anything eventually, but...
You're not bored with me, are you?
No. That's not what I mean. But there wasn't enough variety of things to do, I think.
Okay.
Things to touch, things to suck on, things to play with, things to... Yeah, I don't know. So...
All right, so because of that, which definition do you feel most matches you, I guess. Like, which category would you fall in? Or do you think, like you said earlier, we need to come up with a new one?
I think we need to come up with a new one, but I don't know what it would be because, our rule, because we've been with a couple who she was not by anything. She was
completely straight.
Completely straight and insisted on separate beds and didn't want to have anything to do with me. And I did not like that at all. So now we have the rule that the woman has to be by something. She has to be willing to play with me and let me play with her. But at the same time, I'm not interested in just being with a woman. Right. I need a guy there as well, whether it's you or you and someone else or someone else. That just, I don't know.
So I don't think, I look at the word bi-curious, okay? And I think when I look at that, I think you're beyond that now. Like, you're no longer curious about it.
No, because you had that initially. Yeah, I know.
Like, you know what you like.
And then you changed it to bisexual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it puts us in kind of a predicament with selecting what I should include on profiles.
I know.
So I'm leaning towards bi comfortable. Like, put that in there. Bi comfortable again, and we don't have to necessarily go by that definition, but I think looking at that word bi comfortable, you are comfortable with both men and women. That's just the way I see it.
I guess, but I'm also sexually attracted to both men and women.
Correct.
I'm not romantically attracted to women at all.
Right. But I think that's the bi part. The bi part means, like, assumes that you're attracted to both. And then the comfortable part means you are comfortable doing stuff with both.
I guess, but I feel like if we change it to that, then we're going to get contacted by people who are not comfortable. I don't know. Is that kind of, I take bi comfortable to mean I can take it or leave it. I definitely want to take it. I don't want to leave it. I want it in there. I want it there.
And I'll have to go back and check, but I think right now I have you listed as bi. Like, it just says bi. It doesn't say bi curious, bi comfortable, bi situated, just bi, because that kind of encompasses everything. And then when people reach out to us, we start talking to each other, that's something we can explain.
Mm-hmm.
So as of now, with the segment over, we're still kind of up in the air.
I'm going to think of a new word.
But Eva's going to think of a new word. Okay. By the end of the episode, do you think?
Maybe.
Okay.
What about bi-interested?
Bi-interested, okay.
That seems more like bi-curious. Too much like bi-curious.
I don't know, though. Well, we'll come back to that.
Mm-hmm.
So if Eva thinks of something, you may have a new term by the end of the show. All right, so on to a story that we wanted to share with you today. So as always, I like to have Eva with me for some of these stories because, number one, I forget a lot of details and that she will remember. And number two, I like hearing her perspective. I like her to contribute to what we've experienced together because these are things that we've experienced together. So it's fun to have you aboard. All right. So this story. Why are you laughing?
I was going to say it's fun to have you aboard, too.
Okay. All right. Well, this experience we're about to tell you about, quite interesting. It took place at a hotel. I can't talk. Hotel takeover. Maybe I should have done those vocal warm-ups.
I would have jumped in, but I was yawning.
Not going well right now, people. It is not going well. This episode, not our best yet. We'll shape up.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, this took place at a hotel takeover last year, I think it was. I forget when I typed up these notes, so I think it was last year.
I don't remember when it was. Sometime last year, but I don't know if it was fall or spring or what.
Yeah. So as I've mentioned in previous episodes, where I've talked about hotel takeovers, I like to get on some of the lifestyle apps like SDC and the Play Champagne website and take a look at the guest list to see who is attending. Then I may reach out to a few couples who appear to be interesting and attractive. Eva and I, we are not the types to just walk up to random strangers and introduce ourselves. So this kind of serves as an icebreaker of sorts. We chat for a while. We, kind of see if we hit it off a bit. And then if we do, we can look forward to seeing them in person at the event. At this particular takeover, we did chat with 2 or 3 couples ahead of time. We weren't sure if it was going to go anywhere, but
we're never sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be able to go to the takeover, and then if we see them, we could be like, "Hey, you're one of the couples, one of the." Hey, we wouldn't actually say that. Come on.
I feel like you would.
I'm not that bad. Okay, quick side story. Eva once got annoyed with me. I don't know if annoyed the right word. Made fun of me because I was a
fist bump.
Yes, I was a fist bumper. I think that might have been our first takeover.
I don't know.
And I just, because it was probably like shortly after COVID.
It was.
So I was kind of in the habit of fist bumping people, and so I would meet people and kind of say hi and fist bump them. And Eva.
Meanwhile, I'm giving them a hug.
Okay, but in my defense, there are a lot of people who say that you can't even do that. You can't even go up and assume they want to be hugged. So fist bump was kind of my way around that. Like, hey, I'm saying hi to you. Mm-hmm. I'm saying hi to you, but I'm not shaking your hand. Okay, so anyway, yes. I guess the point is I could be very awkward. All right. So one of the couples that I chatted with seemed nice, but maybe didn't have a complete 100% grasp on the English language.
Maybe, they definitely did.
And it's not a deal breaker.
No, that's fine.
But let's just say they were not at the top of the list of the people that we hope to meet. And I'm going to refer to them as Pat and Pam. When I typed up these notes, I probably had a reason for coming up with those names, but I don't know why. So we're just going to go with it. Pat and Pam.
Okay.
I know.
I did wonder when I read little transcript there.
I usually have a reason for naming them something, and I just have no reason for that I can remember. All right.
I don't even remember their names, so.
I don't either.
Okay.
I don't. Okay, so Friday rolls around, and we did not see the couples we had chatted with online, except for one. This one couple that we're talking about here, Pat and Pam. And from afar, I'm sorry to say, in person, we were not completely impressed, by their physical appearance. Eva and I decided we would not go out of our way to approach them and say hi. The night went on, and we didn't have any interactions with them the entire night. And if I remember correctly, we weren't having much luck that first night, meeting people or talking to people. And again, that we don't randomly approach couples, and no one really approached us. So we just kind of enjoyed ourselves, enjoyed the evening ourselves. And after the big party downstairs at a hotel takeover, the party moves to the top floor, in this case the 5th floor. And there's more dancing, more mingling, and oftentimes that's where couples will find each other and slip off into a room for naughty fun. Eva and I, we just like to go up there to cruise, basically. I mean, we're not really, looking at a meat market or anything like that. We like to just go upstairs and walk around, talk to people if we can, and just kind of sightsee, I guess. That's what it boils down to.
Well, yeah, because they had open rooms, that you could look in and watch people
and then
all sorts of stuff.
And there's a lot of sexy outfits. Eva puts on a super sexy naughty outfit.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. And we just walk around.
Mine are always pretty tame compared. There's people
But
that walk around totally naked up there.
But yours are still pretty freaking hot.
Okay.
So, yeah. So anyway, we're just walking around and people watching and, talking to anybody we might already know. That was the plan. Well, things changed quickly. We were just kind of hanging out when this guy approaches us out of nowhere. And it was Pat. And he was very nice, and to Eva's surprise, much cuter up close.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Because I remember saying, are you sure that's the same guy that we saw across the room before?
Well, we talked to him for a minute or two, and he explained his wife was in their 5th floor hotel room changing or using the bathroom or something like that. I can't remember. And we just kind of, chatted a bit, and then eventually Pam came out and joined us. Now, Pat's English was okay.
Yeah.
Strong accent, but easy to understand. Pam's English, not so much.
She did not speak English. There's no other way to say that. She did not speak English at all.
Yeah, and you can tell she had difficulty.
Or she would not. Yeah,
like understanding us even. Like she couldn't understand some of the things we said. I would say it was a Spanish accent, but I don't know if that's the correct term. I think, South American or something like that. I don't know exactly what the accent was. So they ended up inviting us back to their room for some drinks. And at that point, Eva and I were like, what the hell?
Well, you can have a drink with anybody.
Yeah. And we're at a swingers hotel takeover, so why not do something swingerish? Now, this is not something we would normally do, but I don't know, maybe we were horny or something. I don't remember. I don't know.
I assume we were.
I don't know why we really
why
agreed
would
to
we
it.
not be?
Well, we're also kind of nice, right?
Well, yeah.
But yeah, all right. So we went to the room for drinks, and we just talked for a while. And Pam played Spanish-style music, and we just kind of hung out and talked. And we didn't know if it was like really actually going anywhere, especially because Pat informed us that Pam was mostly just looking to play with another woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I was fine with that, but he also said that she did play with men. Like that was on the table.
Well, I asked specifically, but are you a full swap couple? Because that is what we are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I said something of that sort. And he said, oh, yeah, we definitely are.
Yeah. And remember, there's a little bit of a language barrier here.
But he did say that the reason they were now a full swap couple is because they just couldn't find enough like unicorns, essentially.
Common problem.
Be with them. Yeah. So they switched to being a full swap couple. But I don't think they really were.
Yeah. So, and all this came...
I'd be surprised.
Yeah. All this came through Pat because he was the one who...
He had to interpret for her.
Sure. So, and I forget how it came about. I really forget how it led up to this, but Pat just flat out asked us,
do you want to play?
Yeah, and he said, like, do you want to play with us? Like that. And it was, I really liked his accent. It was very cool. But do you want to play with us? It was almost like Antonio Banderas for Puss in Boots.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit like that.
Yeah.
Do you want to play with us?
I don't remember specifically.
Well, this wasn't as deep as that, but anyway, Eva and I just kind of looked at each other and were like, sure, why not?
Oh, so. I was interested in them. We were interested in them.
Yeah.
By that time. Yeah.
And again, not something we normally do, but I think we were, we're allowed to make the occasional on-the-spot decisions once in a while, especially in that kind of environment where there's a lot of sexual energy. And by that I mean, we were basically surrounded by sex the entire evening. I mean, that's what a hotel
but this is one
is.
of the escapades, or I don't know what to call events.
Ooh, escapade. I like that word.
That led to us eventually having the rule we're not going to play with anyone until we have a vanilla date with them first.
Sure.
So.
All right. So Eva, as she does a lot, got the ball rolling. Started kissing Pam. And Pat and I just kind of watched and enjoyed the show for a bit. Then Pam kind of released herself from Eva and hopped on Pat on the couch and started kissing him.
I don't really remember how that came about, how we got, because we were against the wall initially.
I'm trying to remember that. I don't remember that, but I just remember we got to the couch and she hopped on top of him and started kissing him.
Yeah, I don't remember how we got to the couch.
Eva came over to me and we started kissing, but we were like right next to each other, and we figured this is how a lot of play dates start. You know, you begin with your own spouse, but then hands start wandering eventually, and you eventually swap out. Not the case here.
Nope, it never happened.
Now, I'm always nervous and shy, so I'm usually the last one involved in things like this anyway. And Eva, of course, makes fun of me because I always seem to be the last one naked when we have a play date.
It's not seem to be. Always.
Not always.
100% of the time. There's not a single time, I think, that I know of
Our
that you
threesome,
weren't.
I was the first one naked.
Oh,
So
well,
there.
you were making a point with that.
So anyway, let's just say I'm a little slow and tentative at first. But anyway, Eva started. So we're next to them and we're on the couch, and Eva started letting her hands wander. But every time her hands got close to Pat, Pam would intentionally position herself, like preventing Eva from touching her husband.
Yeah, it was really obvious.
Did I describe that accurately?
Pretty much, yeah.
It was like
I didn't kiss him.
Yeah.
I don't think I sucked his dick.
No,
I know I
no,
didn't
you
suck
didn't.
it. I don't think I even touched it.
No.
Yeah.
And so this was like
I might have
literal.
touched his arm.
This was literal.
It was, yeah.
literal cock blocking. I mean
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Kind of comical.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you hear that word cock blocking, you know, it's never really someone physically blocking you from getting to it.
No, like she had a force field around
Yes.
around him.
Like her body was
Yeah.
positioned. It was like a wall.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know, maybe Pam was getting more warmed up, and by this point, Pat's dick was out and she was sucking on it. But she would not let Eva anywhere near him.
It was the longest blowjob I've ever seen anyone give. I don't know how she
Going and going.
her jaw didn't get sore.
And shortly after, he finished. He came.
Yeah.
And-
Eventually, she made him come.
And Eva and I were left standing there like, what the hell just happened? And I'll never forget Pat saying in his thick accent something like, I know we did not end
Oh
up...
my God! Don't do the accent.
I like doing the accent.
Okay.
I know we did not end up swapping, but we still had fun, right? That was a bad one.
That was
I'm
terrible.
sorry. I'll have to work on that. Yeah, all right, I'll just say it normal. I know we did not end up swapping, but that was still fun, right? And I think I just smiled and nodded, but I was like, it really wasn't that fun.
No. Mm-mm. No, it was very boring.
So we parted ways, headed back to our rooms, just kind of scratching our heads, like, what just happened? It was just very strange. And they did end up reaching out to us.
Well, the next day, I think.
Yeah.
Saturday. Yeah.
It was through the Champagne app, and they said they had a great time, and they hoped to hang out with us again the next night. But we were done with that. We're like, no, we're not interested in that any longer.
No, it would have been the same thing.
So what they did was they basically put us into an unwanted parallel play situation.
Yeah.
And we're not interested in parallel play. But that's
No.
what they kind of...
If I'm gonna fuck you, I would rather be like on a bed and have the whole bed, not someone else's couch.
Yeah. So we had no interest in getting back together with them the following evening.
You told them that.
I did?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I don't remember.
You told
I did.
me you told them that.
Okay. Well, that's why you're
You
here.
responded. That said something like,
Oh, you're
it
right.
was
I
fun,
did.
But I don't think your wife is
I
interested in doing it again. So I think we should just
because
part ways.
I think I specified that like
Yeah.
she wasn't interested in me. Like I pointed out.
She didn't do any. She didn't even look at you.
No, she didn't look at me. Didn't
No.
touch me. Didn't kiss me. Nothing.
No.
Nothing at all. Once we started. So yeah. So thankfully we didn't even run into them again the next night. We kind of saw them across the dance floor at times, but that would have been quite awkward. And with the language barrier, it kind of worried me just a little bit that they didn't understand that we didn't want to play with them again or be with them again.
I don't think it would have been awkward.
I would have felt
smiled and waved and said hi, and if they said, "Do you want to play?" I would have said, "No, not really.
No, thank you."
It didn't work out.
Yeah.
I think I'm good."
So what did we learn from all this? I'm not sure.
Date.
Vanilla dates first. Yeah, that was that rule kind of evolved from that. And then maybe be careful, and if intentions are not made perfectly clear, in this situation it was most likely a language barrier that caused it not to be perfectly clear.
We should have another new rule.
Which is?
That both members of the couple need to be able to speak English. They don't have to be fluent, but we have to be able to converse with both of them, because she didn't speak and she couldn't even have a conversation. Nothing.
Yeah. So I agree.
He had to interpret.
New rule established.
So quite possibly, he had his own agenda and was not interpreting correctly. I don't know.
Yeah, I like it. New rule established.
New rule. Should be a pretty easy one to follow.
Yeah, I don't think that will happen again.
No, I don't think so.
But in general, if intentions are not perfectly clear, possible red flag. So that's our story for today. Did you come up with a new term?
I did not.
Oh, we'll have to save that for another episode. So as of now, we're just going to call you
playful.
By playful. I don't know about that one.
I don't know.
We'll work on this, people. We'll work on it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our story, and I hope you'll come back and listen to another episode of this podcast sometime. As always, you can connect with us on Kik or Instagram. Just search for Evan Dienson. I also have an email address. I don't check it very often, but evandienson@gmail.com. Yeah, I have.
I can't believe you made an email address.
Oh yeah.
For Evan.
This is high tech.
Oh yeah.
We're coming out with merch soon.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. We're not there yet.
Where are we going to store it?
Right.
Where the kids don't find it.
Anyway, either one of us would be happy to answer any questions or take suggestions on topics. Gonna be honest here, I would not call Eva and I players or playas. So we don't have all that many stories, and eventually we're gonna run out. So we haven't been in the lifestyle all that long in the grand scheme of things. I mean, 3 years is not exactly a huge amount of time.
It's not. Ooh, I hit
what did you click?
Accident.
Did you stop the recording?
I don't know.
No, we're still recording.
Okay. It's not that long, but most of the people that we have met at this point are not 3 years. I feel
Correct.
I feel like most of the people that we have met are either right around the same amount of time or less. Not everybody, obviously, but
and especially for us who are we're very selective, and we don't go out every weekend. We don't do a lifestyle thing every weekend. So we need new material. So questions and suggestions for topics, we'll keep things rolling here. Don't be afraid to reach out. Until next time, be safe, be naughty, have a great week. Eva, thanks for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome anytime.
All right, see everybody later.